Hello everybody and welcome back to Vermont Scale Customs. I guess I just kind of realized I hadn't run the LC80 in quite some time, so got it all charged up, made the maiden voyage in Vermont with it yesterday, kind of messing around after I trimmed out this line. It's kind of why it looks like a tornado rolled through here, leaving a bunch of debris behind. But yeah, I haven't really run this much since being out in Illinois. Pretty much the same thing with every car. So every time I post a video, that's almost every one of these you see is going to be a first out here for them. But yeah, this is the FCX FMS, excuse me, LC80, which was the Fair RC green mod. So it's got a couple Batrazzi parts and pieces on there. Then I put Treal Tires for a little bit larger diameter tire, but brass links, brass steering linkage. I believe stock servo on this. I can't remember if I've upgraded that or not. I don't think I have. I think it's the stock servo. But yeah, stock axle housing, stock gears. I think there's brass weights on the wheels. In fact, I know that there are probably brass hub extensions, as a matter of fact. And then steel bumpers up front and back. Those were available for a short period of time. I'm sure they probably still are, but I think when I managed to get these, they were kind of rare at the time. So I've had this for a couple of years, and yeah, it's been kind of a shelf queen for the most part. I ran it a few times in Illinois and did some videos with it, but it has not run that much. I think I ran it on the indoor course once or twice too. But yeah, this line, which is something in the yard, kind of has turned into like the 118, 124 scale course, which is kind of nice. I got to add more to it and try and keep it cleaned out. As you can see, it really does look like, you know, a tornado ran through here and just kind of totally demolished it. There's like snails hanging out on rocks that are kind of wondering probably what just happened and so on and so forth. But yeah, it seems to be like the perfect terrain size for these little guys. But super slow-mo on this one too. I couldn't really pick out like what I wanted for the speed on this one, so it ended up being like 16%. 50% just, I don't know, 100% is just too fast and too jerky. I really like to slow it down so it kind of, you feel those bounces and, you know, you kind of get a much better perspective on what's going on without it all happening too fast and not really like looking real at all. I don't know. Sometimes it's a little bit slow, but I think also too, if you've ever done any, you know, real rock crawling, it doesn't move fast. Sometimes it does, but only when you step on it. Most of the time, crawling is really, you know, fairly low speed, and you're trying to be as careful as possible without breaking things. And so that's really kind of why I slow things down quite a bit. So yeah, a little bit about this course. It's just laid out this way. I don't know. The previous owner of the house just, you know, filled this ditch in with a bunch of kind of medium-sized stone. This is all like, I guess you'd probably call this like 8-inch, 10-inch minus or something like that. But it's all pretty good sized stuff that, you know, the way it's laid out, there's a path that goes kind of right up in the middle of it, which makes for like the perfect scale course for this thing. So a little bit of a pinch point. You got to come up here and kind of turn left as soon as you get to the top of it, or else you can end up going off the back side of it and getting stuck. Oh, that's the next one. I haven't done any weathering to this at all. Probably won't. I'll let this one, you know, just sort of get scratched up and torn up naturally. I don't really see the need to do any additional rusting or anything like that to it. And I have the inner fender kit. It's just unfortunate that having added the interior and doing the clear window mod, the inner fenders do not fit with the interior on the back side, on the back end of this. You can't get the body to seat properly on the frame. I tried many different ways to get this all to work together, but I realize this is moving kind of slow through here. We're at a little bit of a pinch point. Still trying to make progress without breaking anything. Three-wheeling all the way through. We get traction here in a second and it pulls up. But, you know, this one I think came out before the brushless version. So this is the brushed. And truth be told, I think if, you know, I guess if I had my choice, I'd kind of like the brushed myself, but I realized the brushless would be fun. But this thing in first gear, I have no problem with how it crawls, you know, and I've never really been one to dislike, you know, motor and electronic noise, probably because I ran WPL for, you know, the first part of my RC, I don't know, you want to call it career, hobby, venture, you know, like I pretty used to some pretty loud motors and ESC noises. So this thing is quiet in comparison. So though a lot of guys probably wouldn't be able to tolerate how this thing sounds. This line right here, I gotta say, like that whole sequence that you just saw, like the way that thing just popped up and through, that's one of the reasons why I like this rig so much, is that even though it's like kind of a pretty rig, you know, it's definitely a bit of a shelf queen, it still crawls like an absolute beast, you know, it's definitely got some prowess for sure. And it still continues to prove this like all the way through here. Another snail hanging on the rock. Over there on the right. But yeah, you know, the interior comes with a guy that's already kind of like pre-molded in there, so I think I added a little bit more to his beard and painted his shirt. I think I painted the steering wheel in this thing too, but once that's stuffed in there, there is no getting the inner fender pieces in there, which is also another kit that I ordered, but I just never was able to install. So it would have been nice to get all of that in, but can't do it. There might be a way to take the fenders off themselves, but they kind of mounted, you know, via like the midpoint screws there on the chassis. So the whole thing kind of defeats the purpose, not being able to use all of that to close in the whole bottom and stuff. So that part kind of sucked, but this part doesn't kind of suck. It's actually kind of cool what's about to happen here. I was pretty impressed, to say the least. Just trying to find the line, warm up the tires a little bit. Yeah, we're gaining traction. But wait, it gets even better. So this thing articulates really well. It's got the front wheel stuffed on the wheel well, and still plenty of clearance with a little bit larger tire on it. That's one of the originals that come with it. But the Treals are just maybe 1 or 2 millimeters larger in diameter. Different tread pattern entirely. You know, a little bit more of an edge profile. Probably similar in traction. I think I have vented these too, so, and if I haven't, I should. But it's really well balanced, you know. You can definitely three-wheel the heck out of this thing. It seems to hold on to its lines pretty well. Gets off axis really easily. But it manages just to stay stable enough to drive it through. love the sound of the metal bumpers scraping against the rocks. That's something that like, that's kind of another reason why driving it or filming, like doing playback slow, kind of helps a little bit, because it does sort of make that sound a little real. And that's a detail that you really kind of don't notice whenever you're running at like normal speed with these small scales. You can almost feel it like you would feel if you were out really wheeling. That vibration just comes right through the whole chassis. Anyway, moving on here. I just think that it's such a good looking rig. For a 118, for hard body, a couple of modifications, adding the clear window mod, the interior, everything about it. That thing definitely, if you're a Toyota fanboy, that's definitely one to be kind of excited about. It's a good looking rig, very good looking rig. And the green mod is, I believe, their tribute to the limited edition version of this. Plus, the Land Cruiser came out with a limited edition one too. At any rate, there's probably a lot more people out there could tell me more about it than what I'm rambling on about. More tornado damage here that we're driving through, as you can see. But anyway, if you've stuck around this long, you are a trooper. Gotta hand it to you. Coming up on about 12 minutes here. We got about 2 minutes left on this video. So it's a quick shout out to all the new subscribers. Thank you very much for all of your continued participation. New subs, anybody hanging out, listening to me ramble on through a 14-minute video. That's tough to do, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie. It's actually kind of tough. But I didn't want to run this video fast because I liked every move this thing made as I was driving through it. That's kind of why I included this line. This line's crazy. It just proves this 118 scale is actually a total beast. And the next like minute actually totally proves it. As if everything that it's done so far doesn't kind of show that it's totally a capable crawler. But so it gets the left rear stuck and it's starting to unload on the right front. But it manages to find a line and keep all four in contact. It gets wedged, but if it weren't for the portals, this line would be over right now. But that front axle is it's fishing for a line. It's looking for a way through. You can tell it's kind of stuck on the knuckle, but a slight turn kind of helps over. And kind of gets pinched in a little bit on the door, but just moves right through it. Now, this is actually kind of, I thought, the most impressive part about it, how the tire just stays up on the rock through most of it. Just enough to get the bumper over the rock on the right. But again, thanks for watching, and here's my cat. See you later.